London.
16h sur BBC Afrique. Bonjour. Bosnie, la Russie va aider l'ONU à mettre fin au siège de la France.
15 hours, Greenwich Mean Time.
BBC World Service. The news read by Murray Holgate. American fighter planes have shot down 4 combat aircraft by
Sommet des ministres africains des Finances à Libreville. À l'ordre du jour, le problème de la dette extérieure du continent, une dette de 260 milliards de dollars.
This is Bush House in London, headquarters of the BBC World Service. From this building, the BBC broadcasts radio programs to the whole world.
The World Service used to be called the Empire Service. When it started in 1932, it broadcast only in English and provided news and information to people in the British colonies. This is a recording of the very first broadcast.
This is London calling. Before beginning our first program, Mr. J.H. Whitley, the chairman, and Sir John Rees, the Director General of the BBC, are going to speak to you.
The announcers used formal English and used to speak very slowly and clearly. After 6 o'clock, they used to change into dinner jackets to read the news. In the 1930s, Hitler and Mussolini started broadcasting propaganda to the Middle East. So, in 1938, the World Service also started broadcasting to the Middle East in Arabic to counteract the influence of the fascist propaganda. Very soon, the BBC was broadcasting to all the countries occupied by the Nazis. During the Second World War, the BBC reported British defeats as well as British victories, and so it got a reputation for honesty and accuracy. After the war, the BBC continued its foreign language broadcasts, and to this day broadcasts the news in 39 languages.
wasiirada lacagta ee Afrika ayaa lagu wadaa in ay ku kulmaan caasimadda Gabon Libreville maanta si ay uga wada hadlaan.
This is a live news broadcast to Somalia. Over 40% of the population listen to these broadcasts every day because they cannot get accurate news and information in their own country.
warqad kale oo tacsiya ah waxay naga soo gaartay
Here in the newsroom, 120 journalists work day and night, writing 200 news bulletins every 24 hours. Every news story is checked at least twice before it is broadcast. The BBC will not broadcast a story until it is sure that it is true. When President Gorbachev was under house arrest in the Soviet Union in 1991, he said that he learnt the truth about what was happening in his country by listening to the BBC World Service.
We
found some old radios in the service quarters and were able to set up aerials. The lads were able to figure out how to do that. And we began to see what we could get, and we got the BBC best of all.
This means the World Service is not always popular with governments. For example, the former Soviet Union jammed the broadcast for many years so that it was difficult for Russian people to listen to the BBC News. Even the British government was very angry when the World Service broadcast a speech criticizing the government during the Suez Crisis in 1956.
The BBC is the world's largest international broadcaster. Every week, 130 million people listen to BBC World Service radio. In 1992, the World Service started broadcasting television programs too, via satellite to Europe, Asia and Africa. Now, people in countries all around the world can see as well as hear the news from the BBC.